Jamie Vollmer is the author of the new book, Schools Cannot Do It Alone: Building Public Support for America's Public Schools. Once a harsh critic, he has become a nationally recognized friend of public education, a champion of reasonable reform, and an award-winning promoter of improved school-community relations. In 1988, Jamie entered the education arena as a businessman and attorney when he became a founding member of the Iowa Business and Education Roundtable. At the time, he was managing a small, successful manufacturing firm called the Great Midwestern Ice Cream Company. 4 years earlier, the company had become famous when People magazine said they made the best ice cream in America. That judgment was echoed by the Chicago Tribune, the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the Houston Chronicle, the New York Post, Time, Newsweek, and the Today Show. There was even an anatomy magazine that said it was the best ice cream in America. It's called Playboy. Like many businessmen, Vollmer entered the education reform debate with little direct experience, but firmly committed to 3 assumptions. First, our schools need to change. We are not getting the workers we need. Second, the people working in our schools are the problem. They are hunkered down in a monopoly, shielded from competition, with no incentive to change. And third, if we just run our schools like a business, everything would improve. Vollmer has learned a lot over the last 20 years. He's visited hundreds of schools and spoken with thousands of education and community groups. Of his original assumptions, only number 1 remains intact. In the following clip of a speech given in Texas, Jamie tells the now famous story of how he lost assumption number 3.
And on the issue of this 3rd assumption, that you just run it like a business, that assumption went away on a snowy day in January of 1990, when I am invited by a superintendent to come and give an in-service to his staff. He must have hated those people. I was just a bully. All I would do was yell in those days about how lousy you all were. But I agree, this is the first education audience I'm going to get to speak to. Until then, it was all business and community folks. I'm so excited. So I'm sitting on this little auditorium stage, and I'm watching everybody file in, and they're already angry. What I don't know is their only in-service opportunity for 3 months, and I am the sole presenter. They're furious. They know who I am. My reputation has preceded me. So I get introduced, and I begin to speak, and the teachers did what the teachers always did in those days when I would talk. Openly grade papers in front of me. Talk to their neighbors, share notes with the folks behind them. I'm giving a speech, and there's a roar in this room. But you're not going to bully me. I start pouring it on. What's the matter with you people? You know, if I ran my business the way you people operate your schools, I wouldn't be in business very long. Teachers, y'all cloak yourselves in tenure. Administrators, they shield themselves behind this monopolistic bureaucracy. And they and the board, they use the rules and regulations that those hoodlums in Austin think up in the middle of the night. They use those rules and regulations as excuses for not pushing the schools into the 21st. Listen, in business, we invented total quality management. We understand continuous improvement, 0 defects. If you run it like we run it in business, blah, 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 blah. 15 minutes pass, nobody's grading papers. All pens are down and they're glaring at me like this. I get to the end of my talk, forget applause. It's dead silent in that room, and I have to admit I'm a tad intimidated, so I get to go off the stage, and the superintendent is in the wings, and he's going, Q&A, Q&A. And I forgot I promised to do a question and answer period, so I come back to the middle of the stage, and as soon as I get there, a woman's hand goes up. Actually, right about where you are, ma'am. I looked at her. She appeared to be pleasant. She was nicely done. I thought, oh, I'll start with her. She'll be polite. What I find out later, she's a 32-year veteran high school English teacher, been laying in the bushes for me for about an hour. She starts out just as nice as you please. Mr. Vollmer, we understand you make good ice cream. Well, I was insufferable in those days. Excuse me, ma'am. Best ice cream in America. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Must be rich and smooth. 16% butterfat, low overrun, which is the amount of air you whip in to make ice cream cheap. Very low overrun. Oh, you're going to love it. Yes. Something tells me you must use nothing but grade A ingredients. Your nuts, your berries, your flavorings. Oh, whoa! At the Great Midwestern Ice Cream Company, it's nothing but AAA. And a little smile shot across her face that I did not understand at the time. Yes, sir. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Vollmer. If you are walking through your factory one day and you come out onto the receiving dock, you know, where the trucks arrive, the shipments arrive, and you see a shipment, I don't know, a shipment of blueberries come in that is not up to your AAA specification, what do you do? And in the silence of that room, you could hear the trap snap! Well, I was dead meat, but I wasn't going to lie to the lady. I said, ma'am, I would send them back. Not a young woman. She sprang to her feet. She points her finger at me. She says, that's right. You would send them back. We can never send back the blueberries our suppliers send us. We take them big, small, rich, poor, hungry, abused, brilliant, homeless, with bad vision, poor hearing, sore teeth, brilliant, creative, curious, cautious, frightened, haven't slept well, ADHD, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, English as a second language. We take them all, Mr. Vollmer, and that's why it's not a business, it's school. Well, yeah. I would have gotten the point, but all 230 of them jumped to their feet. Yeah, blueberries, pal! Blueberries! I left that day and I was down to 2 assumptions.
For more information about Jamie and his work, please visit www.jamievollmer.com.